Once, our estate was the envy of this land.
And welcome back to more Darkest Dungeon. This is episode 28, week 70, getting underway. Alright, so first things first, town event, All Saints Day. We've seen this one before. All the stress relief facilities in the Abbey. So that's the Cloister, Transept, and Penance Hall. Will be free for this turn. And again, this is not one that's particularly valuable. I don't tend to use stress relief facilities of any type that often, but hey, they're free, so we'll have to try to take advantage of it while we can. Alright, and next, and most important, the episode at hand, Beautiful Thing, Part 6. So if you recall last episode, we made a special trip into the Weald to acquire Part 5 of the Shieldbreaker, A Beautiful Thing journal series. And while we were there, we went ahead and did the journal series for the Weald titled Journal of Darius, Highwayman. So why then are we now making yet another special trip into the Weald just to acquire one of the journal entries for the A Beautiful Thing Shieldbreaker backstory series? Alright, so the main reason is the fact that we have completed all of the veteran content at this point, okay? The only thing that remains is to do the champion versions of all the various dungeons and their bosses, and then finally to assault the Darkest Dungeon, which consists of 4 separate dungeons, and beat the game. And so accordingly, we no longer have to worry about our heroes becoming too high a level, because the champion level is the highest, and there is no level cap for heroes to enter champion level dungeons. So given that fact, doesn't it make the most sense then to go ahead and level up all of our heroes as high as possible, get all their weapons and armor upgraded to the max, get all of their skills upgraded to the max, and there are some other things that we can do to make them better as well. I know I haven't shown you this part yet, but there are certain buildings we can construct with the blueprints that we've acquired off of the bosses we've defeated, and those buildings, once built, will give our heroes, or sometimes certain heroes, bonuses and buffs, etc., etc. So you get the idea. That's the general reason why at this point I chose to stall and go ahead and just get our heroes leveled up and get some of these buildings built and try to get them as strong as possible before we confront the hardest level of difficulty of content in the game. And then also, more from a background project producer point of view, if you will, I decided to present the champion level content in a more ordered fashion. If you recall, I'm going to compile all of the Ancestors' Memoirs voiceover entries before each dungeon, so that you can hear all of them continuously and really soak them in for each dungeon all at once. I feel like that's going to be a more effective presentation, and accordingly I wanted the order in which I did all of the champion level content to have more of a flow to it. I didn't want to be jumping around like ruins and then courtyard and then cove, you know what I mean? Just, I wanted to have it all flow in a very orderly, easy to digest manner. And because of that, I wanted to get all of these minor tasks like journal entry acquisition, etc., out of the way first. Alright, so you get the idea. That's why we're doing this. As for the specific quest, it's another one of those cleanse the infected corpses. I think I chose this one because I like the reward, nothing more. Now we have our Shieldbreaker, a Flagellant, a Jester, and a Vestal, 2 of whom are still level 5, and they could use getting to level 6. All right, so here we go back into the wheel, Devatron.
Excise the fungal tumors, and the land may yet live.
All right, so here we go, Devatron. Activate 3 infected corpses. We know the drill.
Death by inches. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden. Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
All right, so bloodsuckers to start things off. Very disturbing.
A fortune waiting to be spent.
So be prepared for more of those. The world infestation was high at this point.
Well struck. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles. fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
So as for the good news, this is a very strong, very competent group. Both the Flagellant and Jester have bleed attacks, which work well in the wield. The Jester has great stress healing, Vestal great healing, and of course the Shieldbreaker, great damage to all 4 ranks.
The sparkling eyes of youth, twisted and made merciless. A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. Decisive pummeling. The wounds of war can be healed, but never hidden. To a killing blow. Precision and power. Sedated. the true test. Hold fast or expire. The ground quakes. As the ghoulish collection scatters, the rats prepare to feast. As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Wow, Devatron. Close call. I mean, where to begin? First of all, it was a 7-minute encounter with the Collector. Second, he got our Flagellant to Death's Door once and our Vestal to Death's Door twice, one of which she had to make a Death's Door saving throw not to die, which she did, thankfully. So now our Vestal has a Death's Door recovery debuff, which is going to make things harder the rest of the way. Notice that our Flagellant doesn't, though. I'll talk more about that in a minute.
Eradicated. Obliterated. The blood quickens. Annihilated. Ghoulish horrors, brought low and driven into the mud.
Alright, so nice and lucky getting some easy spiders there. I pretty much used the entire fight to recover, and we're looking much better now.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent. A dizzying blow to body and brain. a slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
So getting back to the flagellant, I don't know if you noticed in that fight with the Collector, but when he gets to death's door, in other words 0 hit points, he heals the rest of the party. It's a small heal, but it's something. And then furthermore, once he gets healed off of death's door, he doesn't carry around the death's door recovery debuff. So they're very hardy and very valuable heroes to have in the party. Of course, it's part of why you can only ever take one in your party at a time.
Impressive. Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken. Fate is the weapon that cuts on its own. Singular strike. Masterfully executed. A devastating blow. Soothed. Sedated. Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
All right, so great stuff there. You can see just how much recovery this group is capable of. We're at 0 stress. Everybody's at full health except the Shieldbreaker, but she has a bunch of heal over times on her. So this group is very hard to kill. Now that said, what have we seen so far? I mean, we're 31 minutes into the episode. 5 of that was intro. So 26 minutes into the dungeon, and we don't have a single infected corpse cleansed yet. On top of that, we had a 7-minute encounter with the Collector, and we're having tough fights even though we're managing them. We just are getting crit a lot, beat up a lot. A lot of just tough RNG is going on right now. Alright, so 2 scouting checks in a row. Finally things are starting to roll our way. And this second scouting check reveals 2 quest locations. So at last we at least know where 2 out of the 3 infected corpses are. Now in addition, that was a critical scouting check and it revealed a secret room. It's the gold star. It's actually behind us, below us, and to the right from where we already came. And at this point I can't remember if we actually went and got that or not, so it'll be a surprise to both of us. Alright, this is where things started to get a little scary for me. Another obstacle and we are out of shovels, so if we hit any more we're going to suffer health and stress damage. And there, another hunger check leaving us with only 4 food, okay? And yet we still have to rest and do the nightmare encounter, right? So, that's not good. What if we get another hunger check, then we'll have 0 food for our camping. If we camp now and use the food, that's great, but then if we get hunger checked, then we'll suffer more stress and health damage, etc. So things were really starting to get sketchy at this point. And there it is, Devitron, another hunger check. So just really bad luck this run. We're out of food now. We can still camp to get the nightmare flashback sequence, but we won't have any food, and that'll cause us stress damage.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
And here, a little good luck back our way. We were able to scavenge a shovel out of that pack, so if we do get another obstacle, at least that is covered. And what's this, Devitron? I'm going south? Are you crazy? What, am I going after the secret room to get more treasure or something? We're risking a hunger check here and we're out of food. This is crazy, right?
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
Oh yeah, big time, Devitron. Someone remembered we had passed a beast carcass, and luckily we had some medicinal herbs to cleanse it and acquire 8 more food. Oh yeah, we're looking good, Devitron.
Huddled together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze.
Okay, so there it is. This night holds no comfort for me, says our Shieldbreaker. So we know we're going to get the nightmare, and accordingly, we can plan out our buffs to meet that challenge. And like I've mentioned before, when you know you're going to get the nightmare, you don't need to prevent a nighttime ambush, so you can use your respite points for other things. Okay, so we've increased the max hit points and protection of our Shieldbreaker, as well as her accuracy and critical chance. I lowered the stress of the whole party, and then also reduced the incoming stress of everyone but the Jester by 15%. And then there, just for the Shieldbreaker, I reduced her incoming stress by an additional 15%. So for this upcoming Nightmare Flashback encounter, her incoming stress will be reduced by a total of 30%.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
The Viper seeks to claim its quarry at last. Time to perform beyond one's limits.
Aegis size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade. Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
The knife is dull and I must work quickly. In my panic, I saw, hack, and gouge. My cries are met with the silent indifference of the dunes, the chill of the desert wind, the cold light of the moon. I am sacrificing my beauty for a chance to live, paying for my future with the only currency I've ever had.
Impressive haul, if you value such things.
All right, so good job handling the flashback encounter there. As for treasure, we're getting 2 of the Aegis scales, and then the obsidian dagger, which is the first of the 2 Crimson Court Shieldbreaker trinkets, and it's 1 of 2 for the Shieldbreaker set. And this is a unique set in that you don't acquire these trinkets in the courtyard area, but rather by doing these Shieldbreaker flashback encounters and acquiring the A Beautiful Thing journal entries.
Ancient traps lie in wait, unsprung and thirsting for blood.
And as for the obsidian dagger, it's not a great trinket by itself. I think it increases debuff and flight skill chance, but as a set, it's a very good set to use.
Injury, palpable fear. Inspiration and improvement. Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Mortality clarified in a single strike. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
All right, so a good job handling the 4-wolf encounter, kind of like the 3-dog night. It's the 4-wolf encounter. That particular enemy composition is actually very tricky and dangerous, so it was nice to get through it as well as we did.
Destroyed.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
All right, a really nice crit from the Flagellant on his life tab, healing him for 44, getting him all the way back to full. Those are always fun moments. All right, and just like that, we've got 2 out of 3 corpses done, Devatron. Only took us 48 minutes, right? Yeah, just like that.
In Radiance, may we find victory. decimated. This expedition at least promises success. Cursed champion falls.
All right, and another nice crit from our Flagellant on his Exsanguinate. Didn't heal as much this time, but hit really hard on that nasty giant. And at long last, what do we have here, Devitron? Oh yeah, the third infected corpse. We're done.
Darkness closes in, haunting the hearts of men. Good fortune and hard work may yet arrest this plague.
All right, so let's have a look at this haul. A huge 435 gold. Thankfully, we're getting 9,000 from the quest reward. Quite a few heirlooms, which is important. And then a decent Crusader trinket, so not too bad. But again, we weren't really here for all of that. We were here for the journal entry, and we got it. XP, everyone's level 6 now. That's good. Gifted replacing fast healer is excellent, but we have to get rid of this hemophilia disease on Vitalis. And then Fated replacing skilled gambler. Neither of those are actually that good. What can we do? It's the darkest dungeon, Devitron. We're into the champion content. Hope you're enjoying it. We'll see you in the next episode.